welcome to the third session of Teksmark Joburg, the second one we're hosting in Johannesburg. I need to thank our sponsors, NATI, the Nasionale Afrikaanse Theaterinitiatief, Cornelia Fassen, welcome, and also board member Asta de Vos, lovely to have you here. En ook baie dankie aan UJ, Art Center wat ons partner is hier so in Johannesburg. Het is so voorreg en so lekker om in so wonderlike theater te kan dit aanbied. En ook met sulke ongelooflike personeel. So aan elkeen van julle, thank you so much so far. Pieter Jacobs, baie welkom, and thank you that you are hosting us here. We really appreciate it. And also welcome to the other partner, ATKV, baie dankie vir julle bydrae. Gerry Lemmer, ek weet jy is hier so, waar is Gerry? Gerry, baie dankie en welkom. Het is altyd lekker om julle deel te hê van ons projekte. Alright, I'm not going to repeat everything that I said in my introduction yesterday, and I think we're just going to jump into our first play for the day. And there's no introduction by the writer. He will talk afterwards. En dit is my voorreg om dan die stuk van Obed de Koker voor te stel.
Nou watter tipe kari kan die nou wees? Ek wonder hoe kom hier die ding op 'n man? Nee. Dit kan nie lekker opkom. Water met voeltjie in. Dis vir die koors. Water, voeltjie in, dis vir die koors, ja. Ek moet vir jou renostebos brand, ja. Renostebos. Mano, Kanganti, Todati, Tielote. Kom terug, jongman. Kom terug, jongman. Krisis, Matisa. Krisis, Matisa.
As 'n snaakse taal praat hierdie oom nou. Waar is ek?
Krisis, Matisa.
Nee oom, ek is nie verlief op jou nie. Hoe het ek hierop gedag?
Ek weet nie. Maar jy is nou hier. Jy is 3 dae met my hier in die bos. En jy is gelukkig. Die leeu. Die asvoel As oom, jou amper opgevreet.
Sê oom 3 dan.
Ja,
Nee. Dit kan nie wees nie. Ek moes al terug by die kantoor gewees het. My baas gaan my wegjaag soos 'n hond. Oom moet my help. Ayanda.
kyk.
Ayanda.
Jy gaan moet kalmeer. Ek jou van ver af gesien aankom. Van ver af.
Oom, die kar. Waar is my selfoon? Oom, ek moet 'n breakdown bel. Die kar, oom. Oom moet my tog asseblief help, asseblief.
Kyk. Los die kar. Jy gaan moet kalmeer.
Oom verstaan nie. Oom, die Ayanda aan my kop. Ayanda.
Ons moet iets kry vir die kop. En later moet ons daar in die bos gaan dieper. Iets gaan soek vir daai enkel. Ja, daai klink na griep. Drink.
Wat is die oom?
Het gaan jou krag gee, man. Drink.
Wat is die?
Nou, die is daar. Ek verkies myne. Gekook. Nie gerook nie. Drink.
My ouma het vir ons altyd klipdagga gegee. Ja, is bitter.
Ja.
Oom, dankie vir alles, oom. Dankie vir alles. Maar ek het nog 'n lang rit voor my. Ek sal vir oom sien. Nog eens. Dankie vir alles.
Hey! Man, maar wat is dit met julle van die stad?
Hoe bedoel oom nou?
Wat is die?
Nee, ek groet vir oom.
Kykie, ons is in die bos. Ons groet mekaar so. My hand op jou bors. Joune hier. Jy hoor my hardloop. Ek hoor joune. Ons word een. Wat se elmbooggroet is die van julle?
Hey! Is kom dan nie bang vir corona nie. Wat so goed? Corona, is kom nie bang vir corona nie.
Kykie, ek is bang vir niemand. Kom, laat ons hom loop soek. Kom man, waar is hy?
Vir wie is ek oom?
Vir corona.
Nee, oom. Corona is nie 'n mens nie. Corona is 'n tipe siekte in die lug. Dis hoekom. Dis hoekom trouwens, hierdie goed is maskers. Jy sit hom so op. Sien jy? Ja, dit beskerm jou teen die siektes in die lug.
Oh, dis hoekom jy rondloop. Met hy snaakse water van jou. As hierdie ding nie 'n skietrekker nie.
Nee, die is 'n masker. En die is nie water nie. Die is sanitizer. Sien jy? Jy maak jou hande skoon met dit. Dit maak die kieme dood. Ja, hierdie ou man.
Jy hoef jou nie te bekommer oor corona nie. Sien jy die son?
Ja, oom.
Ja, hy brand vir corona mos dood.
Okay, oom.
Net soos hy vir jou gemaak het.
Luister hier, oom, nee. Soos ek vir oom gesê het. My rit is nog lank. Dankie vir alles.
Jongman,
Ja, oom.
jy gaan dit nooit maak. Daai besering is te groot.
Okay, right. Laat ek maar so intussen tyd my phone charge. Waar is dit? Ayanda. Oh, vader. Saggies.
Ons gaan nou net so oomblik vir Obed moet wag, want hy was nou ook op die verhoog. So. Net so oomblik. Thank you. Hallo. Hello, Obed. Obed first, all the way from Bloemfontein.
Yes, all the way from Bloemfontein.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm welcoming you to Johannesburg, and I'm also a foreigner here, so. No. Obed, I think I'm gonna, because you've got a lot to say, I think, to just kind of give context for everything. So over to you for now, and then I'll ask questions after that.
Okay. Taikwas. Matisa. So Taikwas, good day. Matisa, how are you? Who handed? And then if I say Matisa, then you say Tain A. Taikwas. Tain A. My naam is Obed de Koker. Ek is die skrywer van die stuk Tita Ge Ti Aboxan. Die stuk is gebore in Bloemfontein, Sikhofs, by die incubator program wat hulle gehad het daarso. As Tita Ge Ti Aboxan, die Khoisan-storie, ek is my voorvaders. Die storie gaan basically oor identiteit, die aanleer van die Khoisan, die landontkenning, die landonteiening, jammer, die landonteiening, en ook die aanleer van Khoi wat ons gebruik in die stuk. Die Khoisan is baie groot, dus ons het so ver gegaan, verlede jaar het ons befondsing gekry by die National Arts Council, en ons het getoer, ons was in die Vrystaat, ons het daar getoer, en ook in die Noordkap, ons het so ver gegaan om by die Damasfeeste te gaan, en basically dit is waar al die Khoi en San mense by mekaar kom, van Namibia en Suid-Afrika, en dit was baie mooi is dit vir ouma Esoge ontmoet. En die stuk was redelijk mooi ervaar. Ons het Platfontein toe gegaan waar al die Khoisan-stamme is. Want daar is die Nama, daar is die Griekwa en so hulle die stuk gesien en dit mooi ontvang. Dit was baie mooi ontvang. Soms was het daar zeer, want die stuk is nog langer. En van die mama's het geheel en so, want hulle sê, hulle kan nie wie jag nie, hulle kan nie wie hulle self wees nie. So die stuk vir die skrywer om homself te beskerm, want ons praat van mense wat lewe en 'n kultuur wat bestaan en wat nie eens geërken word nie, nie eens met hulle se taal nie. So ek het dit geskryf en want hulle is die eerste nasie. Hulle is die eerste nasie en ons moet vir hulle erkenning gee. Dit is hoe ek voel as 'n skrywer. En ja, want ek is nog nie in die government waar ek reëls en regulasies kan maak nie, maar as 'n akteur, as 'n skrywer is plig om dit te doen. Ja.
Baie dankie.
Ja.
Obed, ek gaan nou nie eers ingaan in all the wonderful work you do in Bloemfontein nie. I know you're a philanthropist and you've got amazing, you've got a course of computer skills that you...
Yes, that we do for all the kids that can't, reach those computer classes, which is a lot of money. So ons gebruik die bibliotheek when they have the resources. And so that's how we work with the community. Yeah.
So, ga oor die stuk. So die stuk is ontwikkel, geskryf. Ons het 'n terugblik, wil ek sê, in 'n tyd wat ons eintlik almal wil vergeet. En dit is COVID-tyd.
COVID-tyd, yes.
So, en hierdie, the reason the script is here, although it was developed, it needs redevelopment also.
Yes.
And a re-look, because a big part of it is, I mean, COVID plays a part of it, but it's only kind of what we saw now is only a side theme actually in it.
Yes.
The main theme is actually die grondonteeneming, what's the English for that? Yeah, die grondonteeneming. What's the English for that language?
Land without appropriation.
Yes. So my vraag is, en dan ook wat hierdie stuk wat belangrik is, this is a multilingual piece.
Yes,
you've
it
done
is.
How many languages?
We have English, Afrikaans, and then we have Khoisan-storie. Yes, we've done it.
And you do it in a way that it's, in other words, accessible to a very broad audience.
Yes, it is.
And that was obviously a choice.
Yes, it was a choice. Yes,
that was a choice to make it accessible to as many people as possible.
As possible. Yeah, I'll just share, just because the production is holistic, is baie groot. In elke kultuur is daar 'n probleem van identiteit. Maak nie saak waar jy is in die wêreld nie. Identiteit is 'n probleem. En ek weet as julle nog gekyk het op die verhoog self, daar's nou 'n hut en is die land van die ou man. En die jongman loop net met 'n sak wat sy hele goed in het. And that's basically what's it. Ons lewens op die foon. Ons het nie weer tyd te spandeer met mekaar, ons het nie tyd om te leer van kultuur nie. En so sterwe baie goede uit in elke kultuur. Tegnologie is 'n goeie ding, maar dit vat ons weg van wie ons regtig is. The production is played to multiple, sal ek sê, audiences en rasse. And it was well received, net soos hy daar is. And it really touches on all those, die conversation wat ons nie wil hê nie, which is identity. Kyk ons jong mense, jy weet, alles gaan, jy weet, dit is net technologie, maar die kultuur is besig om uit te sterf, jy weet. Ja, dis hoekom.
But I mean, net en dan gaan ek oorgee aan die gehoor om vrae te vra. Wat vir my, ek bedoel wat wonderlik is daarvan is dat daar, and it was focused more on youth, on schools.
Yes, on schools, yes.
So in a way, youth theatre.
Yes,
but not exclusively youth theatre. It's a kind of a broader, because my comment is, what is wonderful is, I mean, it's a culture that I don't know. I mean, that I don't know that much about. So it's wonderful om daai blootstelling te kry. En om te kan leer daaruit. And dit is hoekom jy dit aangepak het. And why you want to do it. Is om die ou tradisies vir mense te leer weer. Want dit is, ek bedoel, dit is 'n skande dat ek in hierdie land is en ek ken hierdie tradisies.
Ja. So ek wil maar net vir jy goed net gou antwoord. COVID-19 was 'n horrible time vir almal. Maar is in die tyd waar 'n mens ook sien hoe, jy weet, die regering, mens kan manipuleer. Die ou man bly in die bos. Hy lewe sy eie lewe. Hy ken nie van COVID nie, hy ken nie van corona nie. Jy weet, die vryheid net om mens te wees op aarde. Jy weet, en so, ons gebruik die COVID as a vehicle to drive the story, maar dit is nie eintlik die storie nie. Because we want these two people to come together en die belangrikheid van voorvaders, die belangrikheid van kultuur, die belangrikheid van taal. Jy weet, al die goed is net besig om weg te gaan. En jy weet, as 'n skrywer het ek 'n plig om te skryf en sê, hoor, mense, ons moet wakker word. As ons ooit uitvee, then we just speak English and no other language in the world. Ja.
Dis wonderlik, Obed.
Ja.
Die wil jy nie net gou weer vir almal die titel ordentlik sê, want ek het nie eers 'n poging aangewend nie vir 'n rede. So ek gee dit oor aan jou en dan ook die Afrikaanse en Engelse titel, want ek weet dit
Die titel bly dieselfde. Tita Ge Ti Aboxan. Ek is
stadig.
Tita,
Ja.
Tita Ge Ti Aboxan. En so ja.
So, ek sê nou ek sê 'n klik gegee het wat daar geskryf is en die wat dan weer heeltemal verkeerd sou wees. En die Afrikaans en die Engels daarvan is?
Is nog steeds dieselfde. Is bly dieselfde.
So dit is die titel, maar jy het 'n ander titel hier in die boekie.
Nee, is Tita Ge Ti Aboxan.
Ja.
Ek is my voorvaders. Die Khoisan-storie. Hy bly so. Ja, hy verander. Ek wil maar net ook net sê ons het, want ek kan nie regtig die taal praat nie. So ons moes 'n mentor kry wat die taal verstaan en vir ons laat leer. Die klein A het ons in Damas gekry. Ons het 'n ander oom gegroet en sê vir hom kyk was toe sê ons Matisa en toe sê klein A. So dis hoe ons ook nog geleer het. So dit is nie net uit die, hoe kan ek dit stel? Ons het nie net die woorde uitgedink nie. Soos ek sê, die skrywer moet sê, dit is gebaseer, is maar fiksie, om homself te beskerm, want as jy met die mense sit, dan sê hulle maar, ons doen dit nie so nie, Ja. Ek wil maar net dit...
So jy het ook die taal aangeleer?
Ja, ek het ook die taal aangeleer.
Dit is amazing. Ja, ek gaan oopmaak vir kommentaar, Ede. Right there.
Obed, you said that you wanted to make changes, jy wil dit aanpas. Wat is, jy weet, van jou idees om die stuk aan te pas van wat jy dit tans, soos wat jy dit tans het?
Ek gaan dit, kom vir tweedelik, soos ek sê, ons het 2020 het ons begin, en so het hy gegroei, en daar is nog steeds plek vir groei. Ek dink wat ek meer wil doen, is, daar is 'n karakter met die naam van Komete, hy is ook deel, maar hy word nie gesien nie, dit is nou die law-firm, wat nou vir Malgas stuur, om die land by die ou man te kom vat. Maar, soos ek wil hê, dit moet groei in terme van teks, en miskien meer informasie, want dit is basically 'n introduction, wie die Khoisan is, wat hulle doen, en so aan te want. Ons kan nog nie die hele boek, jy weet, skryf hier, maar die idee is om dit oral te vat, oral in die wêreld, en ook, maar eerst in Suid-Afrika, because want ek glo, dit kan 'n boek wees, 'n voorgeskrewe boek wees, vir ons kinders, want dit is iets wat hedig is, dit gebeur nou, en ons moet dit in ons geskiedenis insit, ja.
But to link with that question, if we go back to the play,
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to ask a question, is it necessary to still have COVID in the play? Is it an essential part of what the play is? Because, you know, there's different themes here, which is really important, but is COVID one of them? And does it play a crucial role?
Okay, I'll just emphasize on this. There are two worlds to this production, and at the end it becomes one. So what we're just showing here, COVID is like a more of a comic relief, because we are really dealing with an issue that we have not actually dealt with as a country. We have not spoken about it as a country. So the COVID thing is a universal thing, and the Khoisan thing is a universal thing, and so therefore that's how it's just more of a comic relief, but it's not something that we want to drive. It's something we can always take out and see how we grow the production. I'm open for that also.
Can I ask another question?
Yes, you may. Please do.
Kyk, jy sê nou die stuk is vir identiteit, né? En as ons kyk nou veral hierbo in Gauteng en ek kom van Eersteres af in Pretoria so of Tshwane. En as ons kyk na ons kleerlinggemeenskap in hy plekke in, dan as mense vir ons sê nee, kyk, julle mense kom van die Khoi of die San af of iets soos dit, dan is daar baie van die jong mense wat they kind of take offense. So identiteit is iets wat in die kleerlinggemeenskap en in die as ons kyk na Suid-Afrika se geheel, is dit iets wat baie touchy is when it comes to mixed race. So as jy kyk na 'n stuk soos hierdie, hoe praat dit na identiteit vir daai mense wat baie tyd word hulle gesê hulle jy weet you don't actually have culture, you don't know where you come from, allerlei soort goede. So hoe praat dit met daai mense?
Baie dankie vir die vraag en vir die eerste vraag ook. Hoe dit is hoekom ek die stuk geskryf het. Nou, ek is predominantly Tswana. But when you look at me and you hear my name, you expect someone else. So ek myself het gestruggle met identity. Because as ek nou by my pa se mense is, dan praat ons Afrikaans. By my ma se mense is, dan praat ons 'n ander taal. Maar as 'n kwessie van, Obed, wie is jy regtig? Dis hoekom ek sê, ek is my voorvaders. Die kinders sal, they will take offense, they will feel the way they are, maar soos ons altyd sê, you have to start at home. Wie is jou ma? Wie is jou pa? Waarvan afkom hulle? And so that you can trace back, the idea is for you to establish a family tree for your own self. Dis hoekom ek sê, it's also a topic for the young guys. Laat hulle beginne experience of beginne leer dat hulle se eie paadjie of sê maar family tree beginne, because along the way we get lost. En dis hoe ons saam met hulle praat. Sodat hulle verstaan dat julle is belangrik, because die naam kleerling beteken 'n ding. Dit is wat dit beteken. Dit beteken 'n ding. So sometimes you find that because you experience these things, and say vir jou kleerling, and then you scratch it out and say jy Khoisan, of you say Griekwa, of you say 'n ding, because at the end of the day, if you don't become the change, it will not happen. Dankie.
Dankie. Ek kan nog so 2 vrae vir ons, is nogal op 'n tight schedule vandag. Jammer. Daar is ons. En is daar nog 'n hand op ergens? Iemand wat wil kommentaar lewer daarna? Nog een daar agter. There, right there. Thank you.
Baie dankie, Obed.
Baie dankie.
Maar ek het nie soseer 'n vraag nie, eerder miskien 'n brokkie kommentaar, maar voor ek miskien het ek 'n vraag. Ek wil net vir jou vra die tema van grondonteeneming. Dis baie relevant en dit is iets wat dit gaan voort. Dit kom van lankal terug. Dit gaan voort. Kan jy vir my 'n klein bietjie meer verduidelik oor hoe daardie tema ontgin word in jou stuk, en daarna sal ek graag net opvolg op as ek kan nie, as dat
Nee, asseblief, ja.
Okay. Ek gaan maar, kan ek bietjie Engels praat? Ja, maar my Afrikaans keer nou en dan met die Engels. So basically, there's a lot of, kom ek maak 'n voorbeeld, in my hometown now. Daar's baie heritage sites. And it gets demolished, it gets taken away, dan kom sit iemand 'n casino op, kom sit iemand dit op. At the end of the day, it gets lost. En in die stuk in, as hy verder gaan, praat die ou man van die rotsketse en al die goede. En so, it gets taken away. It's something that has been there. Van die heritage sites moes, jy weet, van die ouens gebekleed het, dat hulle nie moet vat, because at the end of the day, it's like breaking away history. Ons vat het weg. En so in die stukken raak het, en die ou man verduidelik die jong man, die sê, hoor, die voorvader is jou geroep, jy moet nou oorvat, because if we don't do it now, dit gaan nie gebeur nie. En so, therefore, wanneer soos ek sê, ons was in Platfontein, ons was in die Damas, dit was goed ontvang, en the comments is painful, because die mense sê, ons kan nie weer jag, ons kan nie weer dit doen nie, jy weet, ons word nie erken nie, and stuff like that, and it's painful, en ek weet, it's not a nice conversation, but we have to have the conversation, as to hoe maak ons dan reg, ek weet die antwoord ek vir u nie.
Absoluut, baie
Oké.
dankie. Ek dink dis geweldig interessant. En ek dink wat my regtig waar baie interesseer in jou stuk is hierdie vervlegting van identiteit, van wie of wat jy is en watter historiese spore jy inloop en which traces of your history remains with you in the present day, which you embody through your being in the fabric of space, time, in this world. What you can claim, what you can't claim, what you can own, what you can't own, or what you want to own but you're not allowed to own or don't have access to owning, and tying that to notions of identity, cultural identity, and how one then live in the world and live into the future with those traces of the past, and continue to deal with kind of injustices. So home and belonging, for me, also stands out from your piece. So thank you very much for this thought-provoking piece of theatre.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You. And last question.
Obed, ja, my naam is Henry. Ek wil net vir jou geluk wens. Ek dink jy as 'n persoon kom verskriklik warm oor. Daar op die verhoog soos jy daar sit. En jou twee spelers het ontsaglik warm en menslik en toeganklik oorgekom in 'n topik wat ek gedink het toe ek die opsomming lees, dog ek okay, here's the goodie and the baddie. Sê net vir my, die ou wat inkom, wat jy sê, wat nie gesien gaan word nie, wat die onteiening kom doen, gaan hy ook 'n warm karakter wees, waartoe mens kan relate, wat net iets moet kom doen, of kom hy met 'n persoonlike agenda? Want die feit dat jy hierdie twee karakters so warm oorbring, is nie hoor, trek jy dit van A tot Z deur en gebruik dit as 'n komiese element heeltemal en word dit 'n ander karakter op die verhoog, omdat COVID so underwritten is op die oomblik nog.
Okay, baie dankie vir die twee vrae. Baie dankie vir die comment also. I'll start with the COVID and this side. Die COVID, ja, ons dra dit deur van punt A af tot hier iewers by hier. And then we take it out because ons wil nou by die punt uitkom dat die twee manne ontmoet vir die eerste keer. Die ou man wys om bedagsaamheid, liefde, alles. En die ou, hy is net by die werk. Dankie oom, jy het my gehelp, maar nou moet ek jou plek vat. Nou moet ek dit doen, nou moet ek die, because at the end of the day, COVID, al wil ons miskien nie of admit nie, it also isolated us. And for a moment or for a day or for the time, we felt like COVID is taking away everything, you know. Alles wordt weggevat van ons af, because some people had to sell their houses, their cars, en die weet van hulle erfenis en goede verloor. You know, is 'n mooi kontras as ek dit net moet daar sit. Ek is ook vir die feit om dit miskien langer van punt A tot Z, omdat I think I should use it as a writer. Ek dink ek is ook vir dit. En Gumete represents, hy het 'n persoonlike dinge interest in die land, because he represents the government, he represents the bully, die een wat net kom vat. En hy vat net, en hy vat net, en hy vat net. It doesn't matter which culture we are, doesn't matter where we are, hy vat net. En dan sê, ons moet teks betaal, en ons teks gaan op, en dit gaan op, en die korrupsie, jy weet, dit gaan net op. So it touches also on that, because even in that corruption, things get taken away from us as people, as South Africans. Dat gaan net weg, you know. En dit, ja, sal ek, as ek het moet so stel. Ek weet die antwoord ek vir u nie, maar that's basically the idea. He represents that, because daar's minerale in die grond, daar's dit, en hulle wil myn na opsit, en dit opsit, jy weet, en alles net kom vat, sonder om te betaal.
Obed, ek dink, ja, I think dit is so 'n belangrike, dit is belangrik dat ons toneelstukke, theater gebruik om ons erfenis aan te spreek. Dit is belangrike temas wat jy hier het. Ek dink dit is 'n belangrike toneelstuk. Wat vir my interessant is wat ek dink, en dankie vir daai vraag ook spesifiek, is die is wat jy nou gesê het, is daai die wat is die woord, die parallel tussen wat COVID gedoen het aan mense en wat mense nou kon voel, verskillende mense, maar wat dan ook parallel staan met wat die wegneem van 'n erfenis voel, that almost becomes a stronger, I don't know, maybe that's something interesting to actually investigate more in the play, because that becomes interesting, want dan deel jy met 'n baie spesifieke emosie wat almal gevoel het, wat jy nou kan deurtrek na, hoe voel dit om jou erfenis te verloor? Om jou herkoms te verloor, of nie ontken te word, of wat ook, jy weet al daai tipe van dinge. Obed, dankie, het is wonderlik om jou hier te hê.
Dankie, goed, dankie. Ek waardeer.
Dit is kon langer Right. And next up is Stephanie Jenkins. Stephanie, where are you? There we are. No. Thanks. I'm going to give this mic to Stephanie. Thanks. Ah, she's got a mic. I'll keep my mic. Stephanie, over to you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm Stephanie Jenkins, and I am the writer for Psychotherapy. We're going to see an extract now, which looks at, from the beginning of the play, the first few scenes. And the play deals with two neighbors who've had a wild altercation, and the courts have now got involved and have led to court-mandated counselling. And they've now come to the psychologist's practice to sort out this feud and hopefully resolve this animosity between the two of them, which doesn't happen because as they come into this practice, the feud starts to spill inside as they start to retaliate, and the two psychologists become embroiled in the feud, and it just escalates and the chaos eventually implodes, resulting in destruction for both the practice and for those involved. There are 4 characters and 4 actors who play the characters. The 2 neighbors, an older woman, Edna Meyer, who lives next door to a middle-aged man, Ezekiel Pule, and they do not like each other. And it explores this idea of space. How far will the two of them go to keep their space, both physical as well as this idea of other people, their influence, encroaching on one another, and how far will they go? This idea of commitment to the cause, no matter what, and a lack of compromise. And then the 2 psychologists become enmeshed in this, and they're Nontobeko Kumalo, who is a young therapist, and her partner in the practice, close to retirement, Clive Jennings. And the practice is under quite a lot of strain, and so we see the tensions as the feud becomes part of the overall metaphor of this idea of the characters becoming trapped, and exploring how far they go, and kind of this idea of a web getting stuck in it. We're probably not going to see it today, but there's this idea of the design element using a metaphorical as well as a literal kind of web that encircles the psychologist's practice. The play takes place in a fixed setting. It's in the waiting room of the psychologist's practice. And there's this idea of suggesting the space rather than going literally into a kind of realistic room, but having yarn webs that surround the room, which feeds into the character Edna's prolific desire to knit all the time, and the idea that the characters get trapped in her web as well. I hope you enjoy the extract. Thank you.
have your prescriptions? No, this is not the pharmacist, it's the psychologist. No, psychologist. No, Never mind, I'm so sorry, I can't help you.
I've been waiting outside for 10 minutes.
This floor is treacherous.
Excuse me?
I got quotes and everything. Hardwood and everything. It was so reasonable.
Next time, please don't latch me inside.
I'm phoning them back.
I'm going to make a sign so this doesn't happen again. I told you we're not pouring any more money into this place. It's pointless.
It's precarious.
Well, put some tape around it. I saw some around here somewhere. Don Tobacco? What's this?
That's private.
I'm the main partner in this practice. I need to know everything.
Well, they asked for me specifically, so I didn't
You know
think
you're
that
supposed to go through me first. We need to be circumspect about who we take on.
I know. It's just that you're so busy and I have it under control. Can I please just have...
That's besides the point. There's a protocol for a reason. Hold on. I saw this on the news. They're from that court case.
Yes, it's them.
They nearly killed each other.
I can handle this.
And if it goes belly up, how will we be able to live this down? How will you be able to live this down?
This isn't like the last time. I'm in a better place. Just trust me.
You can't take on two volatile patients at once.
Please, Clive.
We need to think about our reputation. Yours in particular. We've just come out of a media storm. We can't go back into another one. The final decision is mine, and the answer is no.
Well, it's too late. They're on their way in 30 minutes.
They're what? What have you got us into?
We can't back down now. What of our reputation then?
I thought you were so reckless.
You need to trust me.
Ah, trust. Oh. And?
What?
You're not doing this on your own. It's too risky.
They need to be in the same room at the same time. Get to the root of the problem quickly.
No, start individually, then group later.
Clive.
No negotiation. I'm taking Ezekiel Poulet.
I think I'm better fit for it. You and Edna are both...
What? Old and white?
No. I just think that she would relate better to you.
I'm taking Ezekiel. Find a way to make it work.
This is my case. I need this.
Oh, Tobacco, I'm trying to protect
No, I don't need you to protect me.
Remember what happened with Audrey?
I have been living every day trying to make that right.
The public didn't see it that way.
But you do, right? Hey, I need that file.
"100 meters.
I have to be here the same way as you.
I don't care. 100 meters.
I can't move any further. The room is only so big.
Well, You could have waited for me to go in first.
My life does not revolve around you, Edna.
Well, then why don't you just leave?
I'm not going anywhere.
That's the problem.
There is a simple solution. You could follow your own advice and fat your foot and crack.
Welcome.
Oh, hello, kind lady.
Clive, one moment, please. Oh, sure, sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. It's my fault.
Oh, not at all.
Please, continue.
Yes, I'm Dr. Clive Jennings, and this is Non-Tobacco Kumalo, and we will help to facilitate your court-ordered counseling.
Well, I have a restraining order. He can't be within 100 meters of my presence.
But currently you are
Well, I don't think you understand. I will not be in the same room as that man.
Edna, always difficult. Come now, be civil.
Oh, excuse me.
You will both be seen separately. That's already been arranged. Right. Edna, follow me, please.
Well, no time is better than the present. You'll make hay while the sun shines. Now, you look very young. How long have you been doing this?
5 years.
5 years?
There's no need for that.
Oh, it's good practice.
What is?
Walking barefoot, being connected with the earth.
But you're standing on a rug.
It's all connected, you know. Plus, it's clean.
So I've heard.
Go on.
What?
Be barefoot.
But this is my practice, and I'm not afraid of trekking in a bit of dirt.
It's good for your energy and for mine.
Fine. I want to take you through what we will be doing today.
Do you have any water?
Yes. So I want to make it clear about the nature of our meeting and our role.
Are you going to get that?
We will stop shortly. Here.
Is this tap water?
Yes.
Yes.
So I was saying.
Listen, I'm very close to answering that phone myself.
It'll be over in a moment. So, let me take you through the forms.
You were saying.
One moment, please. Let's proceed.
Why didn't you answer it?
This way, please.
Oh, I thought you were. Why are you both barefoot? Okay, sorry. Where did you say it was again?
Down the hall to the left. No, other left. Oh, dear, let me take you.
Oh, you are such a sweetheart. Thank you.
Too soon for Jabu to go.
There was no choice.
No, but you can't do that. What if it's something important?
There's lots that's important, like the patient sitting in my office.
But we don't want people to think we are unreachable.
Do you want to feel?
They could be alive. You need you to be positive so we can get back to where we were. Hi. That is a good point. We'll get to that. Shall we continue?
Oh, love your shoes.
Thank you.
I'm still looking for some water.
There.
No. Water, please.
We don't have bottled water.
No bottled water? But I don't drink tap water. Where are you going to get that? Oh, give a water here if I order it?
I forgot my bag in the bathroom.
It's just...
Water?
Did someone say water?
I thought you'd gone home already.
Oh, I didn't see you there. What are you doing, sitting in the dark?
Why not? Best place to think. How are things going with Edna?
So far she's quite lovely, actually. We should be thinking about the best of our patients.
Should we? Have you had a look at their forms yet?
Of course, they're like...
They contradict each other.
How could they?
Did you watch the news footage? These are criminal masterminds.
We can't talk about our patients like that.
Why not? That's what they are.
Are you okay, Clive? You seem a little...
It's nothing. Look at the address section. What did Edna write?
54 2nd Street.
But Ezekiel also put 54 2nd Street. They can't both live there.
It's probably just a silly error. It's not a big deal, Clive.
It's no big deal. The smallest mistakes will trip us up.
I'll just clarify it in the next session.
We cannot mess up. We'll be raked over the coals by the court, never mind the press.
Over an address?
The whole case is about the address. We have to do things by the book, otherwise they'll find something to punish us for, and Lord knows we can't afford it. I received another letter.
I don't want to hear it.
Montebello.
I will not accept defeat, no matter what. I'm not leaving! Do you hear me?
Well, good luck with that.
How can you give up so easily?
I'm not giving up. I'm just not naive. I've had to take a long, hard look at my life after all my savings went to legal bills.
Clive, you work so hard. I'm sorry if I could...
You can't. It's fine. I'm making new plans. So should you.
Clive, wait. I'm really trying here. I've got it under control. I promise. I've got it under control, I promise. I've got it under control, I promise. I promise.
Stephanie? I actually want to open this envelope. I'm curious to see what's in. Can I give this to you, please? all the way from Durban. Welcome, Stephanie. Sure, and congratulations to the actors. I think it's so difficult to do an excerpt that's actually farcical and physical, etc. And well done for the short period of time they had to actually pull this off. Well done. Okay, now that we've seen the excerpt, can you just give us kind of where is it going from here, so and towards the end?
Sure.
Like how does this web unfold?
So the feud starts to spill into the practice as retaliation and pranks and various things start to come inside, resulting in injuries and bad smells, and the practice starts to literally fall apart as well. The ceiling starts to collapse, and as you saw, the shoe got stuck, and so more and more things start to disintegrate as the four kind of get entrenched together in the feud. No one is without fault and no one is free, and the whole idea is it escalates and escalates and escalates until it reaches a boiling point. And there's a secret that Ntobeko has. She was involved in a previous case in which her patient died from a drug overdose, and she was the one who prescribed the drugs, and that's the big crisis she's fighting. And Edna gets the information and goes to the press with it. And so that's the end of the practice. And the three of them, Ntobeko, Clive, and Ezekiel, pair up to get revenge on Edna, and it doesn't go to plan, and Ezekiel decides to burn his own house down to frame Edna, and all three of them are now waiting for the police to come because he thinks he sorted it all out, but it's not airtight, and basically he's cut off his nose to spite his face, and they end up having nothing left. So the whole idea is to see how far these characters will go, no matter what the cost, no matter the injury or the loss that it leads to.
Sure. Okay, can't wait to see the whole play. Where did the inspiration come from for this?
Well, I was also asking myself that question, and I was thinking back to COVID, where we were all sort of stuck in our own spaces and we weren't allowed to leave. And I was doing some work from home, and my neighbor, we weren't having constant neighbors, new people were coming in for short periods, and this new person who I'd never met played music 24 hours nonstop. And this idea of not being able to leave and having the music spill into my space without physically imposing, it just sort of stuck with me a bit, thinking about this idea of the neighbor. And I would say that was probably a spark for me to think about how far would people go in order to maintain their peace, and what happens when your peace infringes on someone else's peace, and what happens when you don't like the idea of new people moving into your neighborhood and you're there first, what happens, and where will people go with that? So that was the idea that came through.
Fantastic. I'm going to open it up immediately for comments and questions. Right here in front. Just put up your hand, just so the gentleman knows where to go. Thanks.
Hi, thanks so much for that. I loved the script. I thought it was just so clever and funny. And
Josie, just speak into your mic. Okay.
Yeah. It's always really difficult to write humor, I think, and what's really clever about this humor is it's like understated but quite ordinary. And I'm interested with like having the psychologists, you know, everybody just unravels and it doesn't end well for anybody. The whole running length of the play, how long is it running for?
So there's quite a lot of physical comedy that I would like to have included. So I would say between an hour and 15 minutes, okay. I would say. But I haven't actually ever timed it fully with action. Yeah.
Because that's what I was just thinking, reading. There's so much happening in it.
Yeah.
And with a lot of physicality. And the design of it would be, it was interesting to hear you speak about the design with the knitting and that, and to tie the knitting in with her. But, I mean, I think overall it's a really, really interesting play. So I just wanted to say well done.
Thanks so much, Tracy.
Another comment? Question? Trying to see. I think we all want to see the full play. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. On to our next writer. Sibahle Mabaso. Where are you? There we go. Are you ready, Sibahle? Over to you. Take this one. Swap. There we go.
Good morning. I'm going to speak from my phone because I'm a nervous Nancy. My name is Sibahle Mabaso. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. So today we'll be presenting Mme We, which is more of an idea than a script, I would say. So just to answer some of the prompts that we got from the team about the script itself. So it has been written, the full version, but I think it's draft 0, not 1, because it's still quite an idea. But the idea is about exploring the complex relationship between mother and daughters and just exploring that generational trauma and the choices that we make as parents and how those kind of influence the way that we see the world. Okay, and ultimately about the African lived experience, because we are seeing a black family, not too sure, township village, navigating life. And I find that usually in these spaces, we usually talk about, the drunken father or broken family dynamics, but we don't really explore those relationships between mother and daughter and how that can affect you as a black female child navigating the world. So it kind of came from that place as well. We have 4 characters, but 2 players, so 2 performers. It might stretch to 3 because of the male character who's the dad, who's mostly silent, but so far it's just a 2-hander. And a single person plays multiple characters. So the major themes for me, which not all of them will pop out now, because what we did is that we didn't take the full extract, we just collated scenes that we thought would just paint a picture of the world that we want to build upon. So some of those major themes that we wish to explore in the future are interconnected pain, so exploring the shared grief and struggles between mother and daughter, generational trauma, so looking at the inherited burdens and unresolved issues that are passed down through generations, and empathy and understanding, so just highlighting the transformative power of acknowledging and validating each other's pain. And obviously the minor themes, family dynamics, identity, self-discovery, silence and unspoken emotion, so what happens when things are not addressed. And then the more symbolic theme, so it's supposed to be set in a 90s style kitchen. So just presenting that nostalgic past, a familiar comfort, hopefully, and potential stagnation, because we have a thing where the mother constantly references things that her mom did, that she now passes on to her own daughter, expecting them to work for her daughter. So that just placing it, yes, it's in present day, but placing it against that backdrop, we're hoping it achieves that stagnation. Home as a confined space, and the mother-daughter relationship as a microcosm of broader societal issues like gender roles and so on and so forth. So the target audience, not too sure, but young adults upwards. And it follows quite a non-linear structure as we go back from present day and flashing back to the moments that led up to where we are now. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
What am I missing? What am I missing? So you're really doing this, Kato? Toiletries, check. Change of clothes, detengi,
Charger, check.
Katleho. Bibele e re, you must honor your mother and your father so that you may live long on earth. Honor your mother and your father, Katleho.
And it happen to not provoke your children.
Skatella, Katleho. What's my mother was a tough woman. Harsh, some would say. But not once did I decide to pack my bags and leave.
Katleho, my mom was like this. So I was like this. My mom did this. So I did this. Katleho wanaka, Bibili iribana should do this. So you should also do this. Oh, please, Lamasichaba. I am not you.
Whatever, when I gave birth to you, I never thought that you'd be so selfish, so unforgiving. And I guess Satan fell and told me it's I never thought that my fruits would ripen and eventually rot. Leave. I don't know what was am. You know, when you were younger, Katleho, you loved me like a daughter should love a mother. We were inseparable. But I see where the apple has not fallen far from the tree. Just like your father. Out the door as if you were never here. Mwana ba ba. Mommy's dream. Black my party. No. Black my party. No. Kitle. No, mama. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, hey.
I'm sorry. Okay, now it's my turn, hey, mama.
Oh, hey, Katli, mama is tired now. You see, my age betrays my body now. Too much bending, folding, washing, cleaning, preparing magunya for our township people as they go about their day. You still remember the ingredients, I guess? 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons Eastern grease, 4 tablespoons white sugar. 1 tablespoon vegetable oil, plus more for frying. 2 cups warm water.
Mama.
Okay, but for you, one last time. Okay. This time, let me have.
Okay, Sama ipata hai. Sama. Black man party.
No.
Black man party.
No.
1, Coco, 2, 3, 4, 5,
You know, Masindi, I don't know what to do about Katla's father's absence. It doesn't matter how much you have been praying for a baby to be the cure.
Mama!
And Zwake. You know Zulu men. Zulu men. Oh, Mwanaka, askisitse ke bua le Masindihle, ha ka o bona. All right. Ha re balela mafelelo. But this time, ka Sepedi, a ke? T, pedi, tharo, nne, hlano, tshela, shupa, seswai, senyane, lesome. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
for making me a mother. Here, Mutwara. I know how much you love to hold her. Utwana Luena, she's a splitting image. Curious eyes. I mean the most curly, softest. I can tell that you will be as smart as you are. She will be a bright kid. What's about Umanzi Mande said Ngarakeli Kalati? Namanakakeli Kalati. Mutwara, Papa. My boy must have. Your boy? There was nothing that I could have done, Papa. You know, Zwake, sometimes your womb betrays you. It happened to my mother too. God has answered our prayers, Zwake. Mutware. Papa, do you remember the day of our lobola? Oh, my uncles wanted us to have a baby-making factory. I remember it like it was yesterday, Zwake. Swan, swan, libone, mwana utwana lilikala.
Oh, Chani! Atumela Chani. Apa Chani kataku, it's your day, Mwanaka. Chani, you must be very grateful that Mkhunu, your mother, is still alive. We are expecting a lot from you, Mwanaka. Mwanaka tibata hurubanta those mazuru wana, you will treat their husband like a king. Akirebo mole, they are like kings. Boshaga so. So Mwanaka tibata ho retreat that Mzwake like a king.
Yamalu.
Yahushwalo. Mwanaka ba pizza man.
Malume money maker Papa action.
Malume money maker Papa action Mwanaka, because I make things happen. Let me say ke mo boleletse. Mwanaka, this time next year. Ke batla go bona ba. I want to see children. Bopetunini. Bela Mwanaka, a house is not a home. And that will make your mother very proud.
Yamalu. Oh, that was a glorious day, Mratu. When our whole lives seemed to lie ahead of us like a magnet. Mutware Papa, baby Katleho, who's just like her father, our answered prayer. 250 magwinya, 250 magwinya, special feletle mahwa ke dula ke rekisa for 3 rand mara today ke 250. 250 magwinya, itlang magwinye. 250 magwinya, on a rotating table, very special, fresh from the oven. 250 magwinya, 250 magwinya, 250.
Batum, Khotsi, is this you? Hey, you back? What's about the other day I was here and I saw Kaka selling. I was so shocked. Uraibo, is this a career as well? And the last time I remember when you said, hey, your daughter is doing engineering, what's.
Sibat,
Dumela. Whatever I was like, I'll give it a more so that I can check or sharpen now. Right away now, before I forget. Give it like a strata samankomo, and guess who I saw there? Your husband. You're your husband. Harabanana. Inside woman. Kuri banana bombs. Dikaka. Matole akaka. I was like, you know what? Let me businessman my own. Maybe it's not what it looks like. Maybe it's just my eyes. I told you, lekker. Denga gevaarlijk.
Kata hawa patala lugunya hle.
200. After wena, mahua call that inflammation. Kupa unfair 5. I'll tell you when my trainer gets paid. Thank you.
Tula nana, tula sana, tuluma muzomu, ebuseni. Tula nana, tula sana, tuluma muzomu, ebuseni. Kata, what's my mwanaka?
Mama, I needed you to see the good in me. To make the best choices for me.
Emma Peli Wanaka. Twa, my Magwinya recipe. My mother taught me this recipe. She was also taught by her mother. When your father... What I mean is I want you to know it too. It is through this recipe that I could clothe you and feed you. Go. Two cups of flour, 2 teaspoons Eastern yeast, 4 tablespoons white sugar, a half teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon vegetable oil, plus more for frying, 2 cups warm water. It's what I want to do.
I think she went backstage. It's okay, yeah. That'd be nice. I wouldn't, but it's okay.
Hannah, where are you?
I think she went backstage.
Okay, then we're going to start, and Anna can come in afterwards. All right. It's lovely to have you back at Teksmark.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remember your Kanya and a Dream.
Yes.
It was beautiful, and I'm glad that production eventually
I'm grateful.
actually happened.
Yeah, I'm so grateful.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
You've got a beautiful sense of theatre and a beautiful, yeah, your use of language is quite beautiful, and I think, yeah, just a clever writing. And I don't have much to say. Don't know if you want to add something at this stage, because otherwise I'm going to open it up. Otherwise, we'll ask Hannah to quickly, as soon as Hannah's ready.
Maybe as soon as she's here. I really don't have much to say. I'd like to hear a bit more from everyone. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Can you tell us just exactly where this extra, it's bits and pieces, and what we saw at the end is that, where does the play end? And where does it go with the relationship ultimately?
Okay, so there are still a lot of things that I need to fill in terms of what leads them to the moment when the daughter decides that she wants to leave, just like the dad did. But the resolution in the idea script or the draft was that they would go to a psychologist. The daughter then becomes pregnant later on in life, and that also compels her to want to have, a relationship with her mom and to revisit that. And so they see a psychologist. But I'm thinking of not using that idea because of the setting that they're in, a more communal approach to healing, whether it's through church, whatever the case may be, but where they just find each other again, and there's sort of that empathy exchange where they see each other as a mirror of themselves. Basically, it's. I wanted to resolve in that sense where they find each other again and see each other as people, not just mother and daughter. And now that there's now a new child, how do we then make the best decisions for that child? That's kind of the idea. I don't know if that's clear. Yeah.
That's very clear.
Yeah.
Hannah, are you here with us?
She is there.
Where? Okay, Hannah, you
Yes.
can talk from the auditorium. We can just give you a mic. No, we need you on a mic, please. You're streaming. Thanks. Over to you.
So Hannah directed it. Did you have a specific question for her?
Sorry.
No. Hannah said she wanted to speak.
No,
No, she didn't. I just wanted her to be here with me. Yes.
Oh.
As a person that directed
But
it.
someone said that they wanted to specifically speak also afterwards.
Oh, no,
Who was
I
that?
don't know.
Well, they vanished. Okay, confusion. I don't have a specific question for you, but if you want to make a comment, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, I think firstly, opportunities like this is very important. It's the opportunity to find new voices, to also hone skills, and to collaborate. So I think for me, I was very privileged, being a Joburg artist, having the opportunity to collaborate with a Free State artist. Sibahle and I worked really hard to pick the cast. Then we had to, what's that word? We had to entice the cast. But I think we came up with something really, really beautiful. And I think for me, it was just about making sure that we find the truth in the voice that Sibahle has, because I believe she has a very strong voice. Thank you.
Can I open it up for questions and comments? I really want to hear what you thought. It would be wonderful. Because you've got one there, and then Leanne on this side. Can we get a mic here for Leanne? Just put up your hand, Leanne. Thanks. So going to this side.
Sibahle, I know that you're saying that it's draft 0, but so this is not really a question. I think that the texture of your characters are wonderful. The way that you write them is very relatable. I think that the work that you guys did, Hannah, as directing and just bringing across. I mean, even if you don't understand the language that's being spoken, it's interesting to see how through the use of voice, through the use of their bodies, and the timing of when you kind of weave colloquialisms into it, it works really, really well. So the texture, I think, works very nicely in terms of the nuance of the characters and the tone that you bring across. What I also particularly like is your symbolism with the Magwinya, that you are, whether we call it fit cook, baby, whatever we want to call it, but it's something that I think that as South Africans, almost all of us can relate to that. And I think that's something that kind of makes it universal for us as an audience to attach to and have memories that are attached to it. So that collective consciousness that you bring through generations and how you use it as a symbol of that almost generational trauma that's passed on from generation to generation. So well done. Besides it being I think a draft 0, I think that you definitely have something very special here. Thank you.
Thank you for that comment.
Sibahle, hello.
Right there.
Remember me from Excerpt?
I do.
Thank you. Lizette has said what I wanted to say, so I just want to add, and it's a comment, that I think the combination is right of your actors and your director with the writing. It's a good what we saw now. It's a good product, and it's always so difficult to tell just from writing alone. And that's why Teksmark is an important in-between stage in order to hone your skills, but also just for us to have a look and see what is happening in your head. It's difficult always to present feminine-only driven narratives because the general public always thinks, oh my goodness, here they go again, fighting for a space. But the way to do it, often I see, is via humor. So well done to the team. Really, really appreciated that. Thank you.
Thank you, Lan. We've got a comment right in the middle. Just keep up your hand so that they know where to take the microphone. We've got one at the back and right here in the middle.
Thank you so much. Really loved this piece. All the actors, they did a great job. My question, just a reminder, where are you placing it? Which century? Where are we?
So it's either firstly, I wanted to write it in Soweto, but I have no connection with Soweto. But I liked how when I looked at the streets, that I want them to be in that kind of community, historical community. But currently, we just placed it in a place called Ndabamtopi, which is an escort, which is just a small township. Yeah.
No, great. I think we're all curious about Generation Z as it stands today. So I think your play sort of reflects on that as well. The youth, we're all curious about each other and our parents, and we sort of find safety in the past sometimes, in our parents' stories. And I think it's very important that you are bringing that forward. I can see that. And the circles that you are bringing out in the play is beautiful. You know, the recipe that you've created here. So my hope for your play is that you keep it very minimal, because the acting is so strong, the words are so strong. So I think that will be the power of your play as well, is not to clutter the stage with decor and stuff.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. We'll keep that in mind.
Thank you. Right at the back.
She had her hand up first, and then I'll go.
Okay.
Hi, thank you so much. I resonated with so much of the themes in the excerpts. I just, what was thought-provoking for me is the element of song and the song that you used, because there's so much power in music, and specifically childhood songs and the trauma that that brings up. And I wondered about the song thread through your space and time, because you also speak about space, and specifically tula tula, quiet, and bringing that both into trauma but also to bring peace. And that thread of trauma and peace through song is very powerful, very intergenerational, but also is the power of connection. The song, you can play with that so much more within as you swap through scenes, and thank you for that, because that made me think, what songs did I listen to when I was a child, that when I hear it now, does it bring me trauma or does it bring me peace? And I think for young people and young adults who I work with very much, and girls specifically, which I'm very passionate about, that brings on either healing or even more trauma, so that when you give birth to the new generation and that song gets sung, what does that mean in that moment? When you sing that to your child, does it bring on the healing, the peace, or does it bring more trauma? And I think that for me, as your thread of healing through the arts and through this play, is extremely powerful. So I want to say thank you from an audience member. Just that. It's phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, Hugo. Before we go, because we are going to Hannah. Before we go to Hannah, I can't take credit for that. I can't take credit for the song. Hannah was the first person to make me realize or have hope for the script and see that there's a musicality to it, which I didn't realize. So she made that choice, and I think it would be nice for her if we have the opportunity to just expand on that, because she was the one that kind of pulled out the musicality of the piece, like the undertones of it. And we then decided, okay, let's see what can we bring in terms of music, what's familiar with us. So I think she can expand on that, but I just want to say I can't take credit for that. Yes, thank you.
I think, unfortunately, we don't have time to expand on that, and that's the production side, so
All right.
we'll leave that for a later stage. But you have a last comment.
Yes, hi, I'm Sami Masego, and congratulations to you, Sibahle and Hannah. Thank you for the invitation as well. What I specifically enjoy, I am speaking from my personal bias and work, is the physical embodiment. And you made a comment about maybe throwing away the idea that she goes to therapy. I don't think it's a terrible idea, but what I especially liked in terms of embodiment is how the community is working through her. And the character that is the child that becomes the woman, the mother again, we're watching her shift through all of these people that have informed her identity. And it's a very special thing to have an embodied practitioner, a physical theater practitioner, do that with your text. And yes, to the point of sound as well. You said, and as well, I'd like to make a comment. You said you'd like to give it the setting, a place that is historical. I think you should throw that completely away. I'm from Newcastle, and it is historical because I come from there. And there are histories in peri-urban communities that are important as well to tell. And it's important to not centralize all stories as though they are coming from the epicenter. And you are not from there, so tell stories from where you are from. And I think it is important and beautiful work to do. And so thank you. That's what I have to say.
A comment on that?
Thank you.
I think what is absolutely wonderful, and I think it resonates in all the comments, is that you've got, and I really hope you can develop it. It seems that you've got the right team to work with. So I'm hoping, just a side note, if anyone are interested in any of the plays that were read here over the past 2 days, you're welcome to contact us, and we will then ask permission or put you in contact with the writer to send the script idea to, and if you want to connect with the writers to invest, to assist them, or just to have a discussion, then we'll make that connection with pleasure. I think you've just got it's so wonderful, and I want to see more of you, and I hope this can also develop, because you've got a sense of, you've got the ability to, what's the word, to find the essence, a universal essence of South Africa in your writing, which is sometimes almost dreamlike, but so raw. I don't know if that, I don't know how to explain it, but there's something that it's special, and you must continue with that, because that's your voice. Thank you so much. Wonderful to see you again.
Thank you so much.
Must we swap? Yeah, I'm running away with the wrong mics. I'm sorry. Die volgende skrywer is Johann Smith met Sluk. Johann, dis hy. Wen aan jou?
Baie dankie. Baie dankie vir hierdie ongelooflike geleentheid. Dankie Hugo. Ek gaan vinnig gou praat oor Sluk. Die eerste weergawe van Sluk is geskryf in 2018 en 2019 en die doel daarvan was om bietjie die stigma rondom geestesgesondheid te breek. Ek het toe saam met 3 vriende, Barend Meinhard, Zareta van Wyk en Jacques Adriaanse, het ons eerste optreedatum was toe geskeduleer vir 2020. So toe gebeur COVID en ons 2 goed gebeur. Aan die een kant, ons kon toe nou nie die produksie optree nie, maar daar was ook 'n geval dat mense baie trauma ervaar het tydens daai tyd en geestesgesondheidsuitdagings ervaar het. So uit hierdie aaklige tyd kom daar toe hierdie wonderlike begrip vir ons geesteswelstand. En dis presies wat ek oorspronklik met die teks wou gedoen het. So die teks het sy doel bereik sonder dat hy nou enige invloed noodwendig daarop gehad het. Maar die stuk wou my nie gelos het nie, en soos die pandemie verdwyn het, was dit ook of ons begrip en ons geduld met geestesgesondheid weer begin minder raak het. So, toe ek weer die teks weer aanpak, toe is die vraag wat ek daardeur wou vra is, wat gebeur dan wanneer ons nie kan of toegelaat word om aandag te gee aan ons geestesgesondheid nie? Wat gebeur as ons net die pil kan sluk nie? En dis waaroor Sluk gaan. Ons kyk na verskillende scenario's, dis 'n kabaret. Ons kyk na byvoorbeeld die droomkramer, wat geboorte wil skenk aan 'n droom, maar opgee as die vrees begin inskop. Ons kyk na die paartjie, die getroude paartjie, wat jare terug al moes geskei het, maar te bang was vir die gevolge. Wat gaan hulle doen? Sal hulle oorleef sonder mekaar? Ons kyk ook na die potensiële gemeentelid wat met 'n hele magdom eise wat sy stel aan die predikante, en die predikante moet agteroor buig want hulle is desperaat vir die gemeentelede. En dis wat Sluk is. So die heel eerste lied wat julle gaan hoor vandag het ons net so van die oorspronklike oorgebring, hy is in sy oorspronklike formaat, en dit klink asof dit post-COVID geskryf is, maar nou as 'n mens besef dit is voordat ons geweet het van die pandemie geskryf, dan voel dit amper soos 'n profesie gewees. Ek wil baie graag melding maak van 'n baie spesiale persoon wat ook hierdie reis nog saam met ons gestap het, Marita Brosch. Marita is ook 'n skrywer, 'n ongelooflike skrywer, en ons het baie gesels en ons het materiaal uitgedeel met mekaar, en toe het ek ook later besluit dat ons gaan 'n bietjie van Marita se werk ook integreer in hierdie teks. So ek kon net die versoeking weerstaan om my gunsteling gedig van Marita Swanesang ook in hierdie teks of die uittreksel in te bring vandag nie. Baie dankie vir haar toestemming daarvoor. Dis dan van my kant af, baie dankie aan Amanda en Barend en Emmel wat hierdie uittreksel lewendig gemaak het.
Toets.
En toets.
Krankzinnig. Waanzinnig. Certificeerbaar. Onrehabiliteerbaar. 'n Virus is uit. Dis 'n koei soos 'n feit. Jy moet skuiling vind, Sessie. Dis tyd. Jy sit in jou huis met jou deure gesluit. Jy voel veilig versteek van jou siekte se byt. Jy doen rituele, geleer by jou ma, en jy sluk maar jou trane, want fok tog jou pa. Maar dan raak het donker, en die monster is daar. My bokkie, die bliksem, is jou DNA, jy's
gecontamineer, gepenetreer, geëvalueer. Jy wil veg, jy wil wen, jy wil Beelzebub wen. Jy hoop, jy sal weer triomfeer. So jy woeg en jy swoeg en jy slaan en jy skop en probeer om die oor aan te kry. Jy pop nog 'n pil of maak staat op jou wil in 'n poging om bloed te vermy. Jy val op jou bek en breek amper jou nek, maar jy staan op 'n fluit want jy's boer. Maar dan sien jy sterre van heinde en verre, want iets tref jou tussen die oë. Dis 'n slotklap, dis 'n bullseye, dis 'n knockout, dis 'n kubai.
Jy's uit. Dis 'n snotklap, dis 'n bullseye, dis 'n knockout, dis 'n kubai, jy's uit. Om te kraam is kak. So hoor ek het dit nog nie self gedoen nie. Ek was al vir 'n week hardlywig en toe skenk ek geboorte aan 'n drol. Dit was 'n pyn in die gat en daar was eers 'n dokter om te help om die ding terug te druk nie. Met pyn en lyding het ek daai drol in die wêreld gebring. Hoekom doen ons dit aan onsself? Kraam is die grootste oorsaak van sterftes in hierdie wêreld. 100% van mense wat lewe, gaan dood. Een of ander tyd. Party gouer as ander.
Hoekom is jy hier?
Om te kraam, wat anders.
Ek sien.
Dis wat ek ook gedink het. Ek sien uit, sien die lig, sien my gat. Goeie sien na die hoeveelste probeerslag, nou my soveelste dankie, maar nee, dankie.
Nou, hoe lang draai jy nou al aan die belofte?
Ek weet nie, my lewe lang. Die grootste deel van my lewe. Ek was self 'n belofte gewees en toe pop ek uit. Toe sê ek,
'n teleurstelling
hoekom is ek hier?
om geboorte te skenk.
O ja.
Nou wat kraam ons vandag?
Dis ooglopend, ons skenk vandag geboorte aan... Wat nou weer?
Jy sal self moet uitdrukking daaraan gee.
Ek weet nie regtig wat die antwoord moet wees nie.
Dis 'n eenvoudige vraag, waaraan wil jy geboorte gee?
Ek weet nie, 'n belofte. 'n Droom?
Dis ook maar lekker vaag.
Ek het nie al die antwoorde nie. Ek sal weet as ek dit sien.
Dit klink soos boggerel.
Ek weet wat ek nie wil hê nie.
Kan jy dit ten minste beter uitdruk?
Ek soek nie middelmatigheid nie, doelloosheid. Sinneloosheid.
Ons kan al die loosheide uitskakel.
Liefdeloosheid.
Dis nog 'n loosheid.
Ek soek iets.
Baie spesifiek.
Iets beter.
Beter as?
Ek soek 'n droom. Betekenis. Ek soek 'n rede om te lewe, 'n rede om op te staan en aan te gaan nadat die lewe vir my vir die soveelste keer moer toe geklap het. Ek soek iets anders as 'n stryd na oorlewing. Ek soek meer as oorlewing. Ek soek iets magical. Oh shit. Iets het gebreek.
Al asem.
Ek soek...
Maak op jou bene.
Dit is van bene oopmaak dat ek in die eerste... Ek soek...
Al asem. In en uit. In en uit.
Ek soek die stukke van myself wat flenters gelewe is. Ek soek 'n gom om alles net weer aan mekaar te plak, om terug te keer na hoe alles was.
Ons moet nou te laat. Ons kan nie teruggaan nie. Druk.
Ek druk.
Druk harder.
Ek kan nie. Druk hom terug.
Ek kan nie.
Ek wil nie meer kraam nie. Ek is te bang. Ek soek 'n nuwe droom. 'n Nuwe rede om te bestaan. 'n Nuwe lewe en 'n nuwe normaal. Ek soek my asem. My hart. My ou liefdes. Ek soek 'n skouer. 'n rolstoel. 'n kruk. 'n houtbeen. 'n glas oog.
Het jy seer?
My drome laat my huil. Maar die drome wat ek droom is mooi en ek wens dit is waar. Drome maak seer, dokter.
Alles wat die moeite werd is, maak seer. Ek was eensaam en verloren. Ek was stukken en verniel. Ek was zoekend na 'n antwoord, na heenkomen van my siel.
Daar's 'n kerk in Reënboogstraat, waar die hemel met jou praat, waar die lig en die woord op jou hart en jou pad sal skyn. Neem jou bed, lig jou kop na bo, jy kan dit sien en jy kan dit glo, jou seer en swaar sal soos mis voor die son verdwyn.
Ek het 'n maag wat pyn. Ek het maandelaas 'n bord kos gehad, leef op pap en op brood en op hoop.
Ons opkombuis, voed jou siel en jou lyf, en op Sondag sal ek vir jou koffie koop.
Ek is werkloos vir maande, my hart is so seer.
Jy kan dalk jou dienste in ons kerkblad adverteer.
Ek sal skryf.
Dis oor en verby.
My dogter is 7 jaar oud.
Vir 'n hart onbevlek, Maak ons Sondagskoolplek.
My dogtertjie is fucking stout.
Daar's geen oordeel of verwyte nie. Geen oë wat na jou staar. En liefde is daar volop.
Ek is in.
Sy is in.
Ek is daar.
Daar's 'n kerk in Reënboogstraat waar die hemel met jou praat, waar jou broeders en jou susters jou bedien.
Ons haal daai juk af van jou rug. Ons hou jou hande in die lug. Ons gee jou krag om vir 'n nuwe dag weer kans te sien. Maar ek snyf kokain. Ek het 2 pakkies poeiers in my laai.
Ons praise and worship is a natural high. Woep!
Vodka en tequila laat my nerves bedaan.
Met bietjie nagmaalwyn sal ons jou rehabiliteer.
Ek en my kerel, ons deel nog 'n bed, ons lewe in sonde. Ek voel soos 'n slet.
Ontspan maar suster, ons kom in vrede. Dominee van Wyk is 'n kommissaris van Ede. Hy sal jou en liewe liefie sommer chop trou. Die fondasie waarop jy 'n huwelik bou.
Ek weet julle profete het die wêreld lief, maar ek moet erken, ek is moes depressief.
Suster Gerike is 'n uitstekende beraader. Pastor Libbe is mos haar geestelike vader. Daar's altyd 'n uitweg vir jou geestelike lyding. Pastor Libbe is moergoed en demoniese bevryding. Vergeet van die verlede. Dit verdwyn so ongesiens. Jou sonde is vergewe.
Ek is in.
Sy is in.
Hoe laat is die diens? Daar's 'n kerk in Reënboogstraat waar die hemel met jou praat.
Vir die sondaar en die heiden is daar rus.
Is daar rus?
Vergeet jou sonde, vergeet jou smart. Kry die hemel in jou hart. Daar's 'n vuur wat skuld en seer kry nooit sal blus.
Maar ek se ateïs.
Nee, fok, jy gaan reguit hel toe, hoor.
Aan die einde van 'n oorlog, ons was stukkend en verniel. Vir 'n oomblik was jy sober en ek kon sien tot in jou siel. Toe 'n enkele woord, jy vang my omkant. 'n oomblik van teerheid en ek's weer in jou hand. Maar ek ken al jou pyn, ek weet van jou vrees, gebid vir jou vrede, gebid dat jy genees. Nou kry ek spyt oor daai dag, my kop in die sand, ek kry spyt oor my hart wat weer breek in jou hand. En ek lief jou oë, ek lief jou gees, ek lief wat ek onthou, ek lief wat kan wees, ek lief wat ek droom, ek lief wat ek mis, ek lief 'n belofte as jy naby is. Maar ek haat wat ek word, ek haat wat ek verloor, ek haat ons beklei en ek haat dat ek versmoor, ek haat wat ek doen, ek haat wat ek sê, ek haat om jou vir ewig lief te hê. So ja, jou tentatiewe omgee is 'n anker in 'n stormsee. Tyd maak my sinies, my swakheid my verleë. Jou verwyte is geets op die lyne van my hart. Jou trane gee my hoop, maar jou wraak maak my verward. Ek wens dit was anders. Ek wens ek was perfek. Ek wens ek was meer as net 'n meulsteen om jou nek. Ek wens ek kon meer lag. Ek wens ek was meer vry. Ek wens jy was eenvoudig net lief genoeg vir my. Want ek lief jou oë, ek lief jou gees, ek lief wat ek onthou, ek lief wat kan wees, ek lief wat ek droom, ek lief wat ek mis, ek lief 'n belofte. Dood begin by die voete, het ek Bruiten aangehaal na jou hoeveelste audisie. Jy het net gelag en gesê, as ek nie dans nie, is ek dood. En jou bloeiende tone verbind en verberg in bedrieglike satijn.
ons eie soortige pas de Dieu. Ek, denker, jy, danser. 2 spikkels in 'n skare aspirant-dromers. Ek onthou ons in jou flat in Sunnyside, bokswyn drink, maler luister en ek aanhaal, God is dood. Jy wat lag soos 'n drein, nee, Nietzsche is. Jou arm swaaiend, asof jy ook windmeulens jaag. Ons het geglo ons is uniek, soos jy glo as jy jonk is, en dan haal ons van clichés geklou. If you can dream it, you can be it. En het jy gedroom van hoofswaan in die hoofstroom wees, die slapende skoonheid, verreis na die kus van sukses. Die naam Gisela klink soos Giselle lag jy en pirouet tot by die yskas vir nog 'n glasie. Later 'n buiging vooroor soos 'n kwynende oudet, terwyl jy 'n wit lyn sny. Want dit maak jou veerlig en jy wil vlieg soos 'n swaan en jy maak jou buiging keer op keer in rehab. Plié oor urinestokkies, jou pupille swart gate in die kollig van 'n dokterslig, maar jy wil vlieg, veerlig soos 'n swaan. Die opsigter kry jou in jou flat in Sunnyside, met rigor mortis tone gepunt en onverbind, vingers steeds ongekrul, allongé. En ek dink, Gisela, wat na Giselle klink. As jy nie dans nie, is jy dood, my maat, met die lakende gordyn oor jou gesig. En ek vra van God of jy en Nietzsche nou op dieselfde plek is en ek huil. Ek huil elke keer as ek maler hoor.
My besembos bedruktheid, vra ek die dood om my te haal. Gat vol vuisfoos flenter gebestaan. Konvensionele wysheid het my keer op keer geval, as my rede vir my lewe my ontgaan.
Maar dan hoor ek 'n stem uit die wildernis, 'n wasemhand van wolk in die woestyn. Want al het ek dit geweet, het my sinapse al vergeet, hoe dopamine jou sorge laat verdwyn.
Sluk 'n pil, sluk 'n pil, sluk om af, jy weet jy wil. Sluk 'n pil as die wêreld om jou draai. Ons kan jou maar vergewe as die aarde om jou bewe en jou sinne en jou vriende jou verraai. Sluk 'n pil, sluk om af, jy weet jy wil. Sluk 'n pil om jou draai. Ons kan jou maar vergewe as die aarde om jou bewe en jou sinne en jou vriende jou verraai. En 'n kakofonie keuses met 'n brein wat wil verstaan. Pergasie vir 'n bietjie oop lyf.
In my tronk voel ek veiliger as om buite te vergaan.
'n Bloue maak wat slap is 'n bietjie styf.
So ek haas my maar stil na nêrens. My rigtingsing is lankal opgeneek. En alles wat ek sluk word net 'n kumulatiewe kruk en doof alles uit wat my breek. Sluk 'n pil, sluk om af, jy weet jy wil. Sluk 'n pil as die wêreld om jou draai. Ons kan jou maar vergewe as die aarde om jou bewe en jou sinne en jou vriende jou verraai. Ons kan jou maar vergewe as die aarde om jou bewe en jou sinne en jou vriende jou verraai.
Julle sal haar naam nog weer hoor, wonderlike nuwe talent Ayanda Seoka. Vir eers asemhaal. Wat gedaan? Wel, julle is reg om 'n show op te sit. So, ek weet nie hoe kom ons hier is om dit te ontwikkel nie. Ek bedoel, daar is dit al. Gedeelte daarvan geluk. Wonderlike skryfwerk en kan sien julle het baie moeite gedoen met die Uittreksel.
Baie dankie, ja. Ek wil net om verskoning vra, ons was so 'n bietjie oor ons tyd gewees. Maar dit is nie aldag dat 'n mens kans kry om saam met sulke ongelooflike mense te werk nie, en dit was regtig 'n wonderlike proses gewees.
Julle is nie die enigste skrywers wat julle kans vat as julle dit kry nie. Maar ons het die sulke streng reëls soos die ADKV 10 toneel wat jou afsny en penaliseer en nooit weer laat opvoer daarna nie. So jy
agterkom ek het begin vinniger speel daar.
Ja, is fine, Johan. Ek gaan 'n bietjie devil's advocate gou speel voor ek dit oopmaak. Ek in die stukkie wat hier so in die boekie is, sê jy sê sodat jy weet dat daar nog steeds nie eintlik aandag gegee word en erkenning gegee word en 'n verstaan is van jy weet geestesgesondheid en sielkundige aspekte nie. Is dit dink jy reg so?
So ja, dit is eintlik, ek dink ons is vandag nog steeds, ek sal nie sê ons is in dieselfde posisie wat ons was pre-COVID nie, maar ons is definitief in die posisie wat ons kom ons sê baie jare gelede was nie. So daar is definitief baie meer erkenning wat gegee word aan geestesgesondheid. Maar dit voel vir my asof daar 'n baie spesiale oplewing was tydens die pandemie waar ons mense het net regtig begin om ander mense se kontekste te probeer verstaan. So waar as ek met iemand werk en hulle sê vir my jammer ek kan nie by 'n plek uitkom nie, dan weet jy nooit is hierdie persoon net lui of is iemand baie naby aan hulle hierdie week oorlede nie. En dit verander 'n mens se perspektief en ek dink daai is half iets wat ek dink met ons daaglikse gedagtes wees dat ons daai tipe empatie op 'n daaglikse basis met mense moet hê. So ek dink daar is nog steeds en miskien sal dit altyd wees dat daar so 'n bietjie van 'n stigma kleef aan die feit dat as jy sê ek is nie okay nie, gaan almal vir jou sê dis heeltemal reg, ons ondersteun jou, maar as jy 2 weke later nie meer okay is nie, dan nee, nou moet jy jouself bietjie begin regkry. En ek dink dis meer in daai aspek, die feit dat dit meer subtiel is as wat mense baie keer besef.
En is dit een van jou hoofbeweegredes oor hoekom jy voel dat jy weet met so 'n stuk kan jy dit aanspreek en gehoor dat meer empatie oor mense wat hulle ken, mense wat hulle
Ek dink ek wil graag mense aanmoedig om verantwoordelikheid te neem en dalk 'n bietjie minder bekommerd te wees oor wat die buitereaksie is, want en ek dink dis dalk wat ons wil sê met die teks, is dat die feit dat jy nie hulp soek nie, beteken nie die probleem gaan weg nie. Dit manifesteer op ander maniere en daai maniere is dalk nog slegter vir jou en slegter vir jou omgewing as wat die perspektief van die stigma vir jou kan wees. En ek wil of daai dis iets wat met ons is en hoe gouer ons leer om dit te hanteer soos wat jy enige ander gewone siekwees hanteer, soos 'n verkoue hanteer, hoe vinniger gaan ons beter raak.
Ek gaan dit oopmaak. Kommentaar. Hulle het niks daarvan gehou nie. Sakie Botha. Ek wil net voor Sakie, ek vraag net, wat interessant is, ek was baie jare gelede, het ek vir 'n tyd lank Engels gegee in Suid-Korea. En daar's 'n geweldige stigma oor net om 'n sielkundige, ek bedoel, jy noem nie eers die woord sielkundige nie, en jy weet, dit is iets wat totaal mense raak so angstig as jy daaroor praat. Soos reg soos jy weet, sodra jy net dit is nie in hulle 'n verwysingsveld nie, alhoewel bestaan en jy probeer, as jy dit doen jy dit amper in die geheim. En sielkundiges noem hulle self ook nie op daai stadium, dit is nou baie jare, ek weet nie of dit 'n 10 jaar verander. En ek wonder net en ek weet generasiegewys in Suid-Afrika, ouer generasie was geneig om jy weet sielkundige, wat is dit, of 'n psigiater, dit is dink jy en daar's tog vir my so 'n bietjie daarvan nog, selfs in jonger generasies, is daar nog so 'n bietjie daarvan dat as jy sê jy gaan na sielkundige toe, dan onmiddellik dink mense, jy weet, dan is daar 'n reaksie daarop. Negatiewe reaksie.
Ek dink ongelukkig dit is nog steeds so. Ek het met studente gewerk wat in eerste wêreldlande is, Denemarke en België, en as jy vir hulle gevra wat is welstand, wat is hulle grootste uitdaging, dan sê hulle dis die stigma wat kleef aan om 'n sielkundige te gaan sien en beskikbaarheid om 'n sielkundige te kan sien. So aan die een kant wys dit dat die behoefte is daar, want jy kry nie plek om 'n sielkundige te gaan sien nie, maar aan die ander kant is daar nog steeds 'n stigma. So ek dink, ek wil amper sê dit kan dalk baie meer konteksspesifiek wees. So jy's dalk in 'n vriendekring of in 'n familie waar daar geen stigma aan kleef nie, maar dan sal iemand anders wat in hulle konteks is die stigma, en ek dink dit isoleer hulle selfs nog meer, want dit raak moeiliker om uit te reik as dit die omgewing is waarin jy is. So ja, ek stem saam, daar kan verskille wees in die generasie, maar ek dink dit is iets wat jy nog steeds wat nie beperk is tot 'n spesifieke generasie nie.
En wêreldwyd ook kultureel.
En wêreldwyd,
ja, kultuur. Sakie.
Ek wil eers vir Johann sê dat dit is altyd interessant om 'n skrywer dop te hou as hulle werk opgevoer word. En dit is nou baie interessant geweest om jou van voor af te kan sien. Dis lekker om te sien as iemand hou van wat hulle hoor, as hulle dit geskryf het. So geniet die oomblik. Ek het 'n vraag oor die glyskaal waarbinne hierdie stuk beweeg, waarbinne die sketse beweeg, van skatologie tot geweldig donker. En dan die klankbaan wat dit ondersteun. Wat baie, ek weet nie of dit anders is in die res van die stuk nie, maar baie lig is, en ek weet ook nie of dit net is as gevolg van die klavier of die keyboard, maar so my eerste vraag is hoe wyd is hierdie glyskaal, of die kontinuum van hierdie stuk, en wat is die klank wat hierdie stuk moet hê, uiteindelik?
So in die volledige stuk gaan daar baie meer dialoog ook wees. So dit gaan bietjie van 'n onderbreking maak, en dan na die dialoog kan 'n mens amper, het jy bietjie meer speling om dan te besluit in watter rigting jy ingaan. So jy het 100%, ons is op dieselfde bladsy, as hy begin baie lig, en dan het hy eintlik 'n komiese, dit was eintlik 2 komiese stukke, en toe kom ons op 'n plek wat ons agterkom, maar hierdie een komiese stuk vat hom dan donker toe, en toe moes ons 'n manier kry om die tweede komiese stuk bietjie in te wy, dat dit nie net skielik hierdie snaakse deel is nie. Ek dink daar is definitief so 'n bietjie van jou ligte oomblikke, en dan gaan ons op 'n stadium bietjie moet diep raak, maar ek dink nie so diep soos die einde nie, en dan sal ons hom weer moet lig, laat hy nie vir te lank swaar is nie. So daai, ek weet nie of ek die vraag nou reg beantwoord nie, maar dit gaan oor daai, die emosionele gevoel wat jy kry, en die reis wat jy kry, kan nie op een van die twee vir te lank bly nie, want dan raak dit maklik eentonig. So daar is nog 'n paar snaakse sketse en snaakse liedjies wat ingewerk is, en ek dink amper dat soos wat hy nou is die begin en die einde, en dan die res gaan ons moet werk met die vloei in die middel. So die klank, as ek daar is, en ek dink ons praat nou van die tipe liedjies wat ek so die tipe musiek wat ons dan doen is aan die begin het ons so 'n bietjie van 'n kabaret gevoel. Dis 'n goeie vraag. Hoe om dit te verduidelik, as jy na die stories kyk, ek weet, kan ek dit storiemusiek noem? Soos byvoorbeeld die kerk ene, daar is 'n paar van daai elemente in. Daar is nog 'n paar baie melodiese amper ballad liedjies en dan is daar hierdie vreeslike dramatiese maar komiese momente.
Cycling, bedoel jy wat instrumentaal, is dit net 'n keyboard of is daar ander instrumente wat bykom? Is dit wat jy wil weet, die scope daarvan?
O, is dit?
Ja.
O, ekskuus.
Ja. Ja.
So dit sal op hierdie stadium is dit net klavier, want ek dink aan begroting.
En stylgewys, ek bedoel, hier is nou natuurlik 'n voorstelling vir ding.
Ja.
Is dit die styl waarbinne jy dit graag sou sien of is dit iets meer? Of
Ja,
is dit
ek
minimalisties?
dink dit sal minimalisties wees, oor die algemeen. Maar ek dink wanneer ek hierna kyk, dan dink ek altyd in terme van begroting en het 'n mens regtig 'n groot stel nodig vir iets soos hierdie, hoe gaan jy toer daarmee as jy so daar is implikasies vir 'n stel en dan is die vraag hoe belangrik is die stel regtig? Gaan jy nie presies dieselfde effek kry as jy 'n meer gestroopte verhoog het nie. So ek neig meer na 'n gestroopte met rekwisiete waar nodig. Ja.
Wees baie effektief. En dan jy het begin om te sê van jy weet dat jy die tipe van cabaret songs wil doen en ek dink as ons nou van die toonaard wat Saartjie van praat, wissel dit na iets anders toe en wat is dit? Want ek dink jy het opgehou by dat jy begin met die cabaret en dan
So ek dink dit is dit wat julle hier gesien het, as ek in my kop deur al die liedjies gaan, is baie van 'n steekproef van hoe die res van die musiek gaan klink. Want ons het so ek sê vind dit is nogal redelik naby aan wat die ander liedjies gaan wees.
Kyk hier, jy hoef nie nou al die antwoorde te hê nie want dit is nog iets wat ontwikkel word. Jy gaan nog eksperimenteer daarmee. So. Enige ander vrae, kommentaar sodat ons 'n hand.
Hallo Johan.
Hallo Johan.
So ek wil nou ook 'n bietjie meer die agtergrond van Sluk ken. So natuurlik is daar die deurlopende lyn van geestesgesondheid. Dit kon maklik en eenvoudig gewees het om 'n basiese tafel op die verhoog te hê, 2 karakters, Pietie en Jannie wat beklei en praat oor geestesgesondheid en al die verskillende goed, maar jy het dit reg gekry om snippets van metafore en geestesgesondheid op verskillende vlakke van die mensdom uit te beeld. Ek wil net weet hoekom het jy besluit om dit in snippets te skryf en hierdie verskillende metafore en nie net 'n deurlopende soos karakters en sulke tipe dinge nie?
Ek dink, dankie vir daai vraag. Ek dink dit gaan baie oor die hulpmiddel of die gereedskap wat jy het as jy met iets soos 'n kabaret werk. Is as jy 'n teaterproduksie doen, dan het jy as 'n volledige drama doen, dan het jy sekere ekstra geleenthede om goed te gebruik, maar daar's ook sekere beperkings dat jy kan nie van een storie skielik skuif na 'n ander storie en skielik skuif na 'n ander storie en skuif na 'n ander storie sonder dat dan is dit nie meer 'n drama nie, dan is dit kort sketse. Terwyl as jy dit in 'n styl soos hierdie doen, dan bied dit vir jou 'n geleentheid om 'n klomp verskillende aspekte van dieselfde probleem aan te spreek. En die hoop is dat daar seker van daai aspekte is waarmee vir elke aspek is daar iemand wat meer identifiseer met 'n spesifieke aspek van die stuk en dat jy dan meer mense half kan raak daarmee in daai opsig. Ja.
Baie dankie. Ek sien geen ander kommentaar nie. Ek weet ons gaan hierdie stuk op die in die teaters en in die feeste sien. So baie geluk en baie dankie.
Baie dankie. Dankie vir hierdie ongelooflike geleentheid.
Ek het nie afgesit nie. The last writer for this session is, and now obviously is Rondo Mpiti-Spies. Rondo, where are you? Okay, so I suppose, Rondo, are you going to, I think she's going to speak afterwards then? Let's assume that. I'm going to introduce, let's just start the extract. The play.
Give me the smoke, lights, silhouettes, go-go girls. Hit me!
Especially after today. What's wrong with you? You know what, guys? It wouldn't hurt if you could just hit the gym just once in your life. Once a week.
Miss Herbalife. Well, I'm going to give you some good beating. And by the time I'm done with your damn face, not even your Herbalife shake is going to fix it.
Don't hate the product, hate the game.
Anyway, how many shows do we have left? And we don't Kantimo. I said, when are we getting paid?
You know, Ava, you really shouldn't speak a language no one can understand.
Excuse me! What did you say?
Okay, it was a joke, it was a joke.
You know, she doesn't think when she speaks this one.
I
This
didn't
was
mean
a
to.
wrong
I
one.
know your fucking friend. Offensive.
Stop! Do you want to lose your job? Huh? And you, can you just think before you speak?
What about her?
You know, one day, I'm not going to be here and she's going to beat you.
Tell her kita hunama
Yeah?
Jesus.
Enough with the breaks.
Okay,
Hey,
Okay. Come on, guys. Shouldn't be fighting.
Don't touch me.
We should rather be talking about life, you know?
Life?
Yeah. Like, sometimes I think, how did I end up here?
Oh, that. I can help you with that for free. It's called unemployment.
Yeah. An opportunity was stolen from me.
Rebellion against my Calvinistic values. No. We should really be telling stories.
Stories?
Like Little Red Riding Hood. Or Talani and the Giant. Or, oh, I have a good one. What about we do Barbie and Ken? Huh? So hear this out. So Ken is like, hello, Barbie. And Barbie's like, hello, Ken. And they live happily ever after.
No, Chichi, I'm talking about real stories. Stories about women and femininity.
Like vagina monologues.
What are vagina monologues?
Oh, now we want
No, guys, I only know Barbie and Frozen. Wait. Are you trying to tell me that these monologues are about frozen vaginas? No, if that's the case, let it go. Let it go.
Chichi, you're too much.
Anyway, I'm tired of vagina monologues. You know what? In high school, we did vagina monologues. In varsity, it was vagina monologues. It's so overdone. I'm tired of it.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Someone agrees with me.
Let's scratch the badge monos. How about we focus on stories that never leave the kitchen table?
Or we can actually tell the ones that are left to linger in the lounge. The ones that could reach the relevant and right people.
We can talk about Ihapa life, guys.
Oh, be
serious. Guys, I'm also being serious. Huh? Okay, fine. We know of women that have been raped, right? But we just seem to never know the rapist. We know about women that have been abused, but we just silence the abuser, huh? So let's just focus on other things, like Ihapa life, guys. You could be making mad
serious for
money,
once,
guys.
Gigi,
Be
for
serious.
once.
Fine. You want to be serious? Positions? Guys, there's an audience here. They're paid.
So what? Let them fucking listen. Let them watch. Them who's here for our bombs and for our boobs. So why not breastfeed them the horrors that we go through every day? We might as well just, nicely sit on their faces and have them eat the shit that we eat every day as women. Where's the harm in that?
Thank you.
I
agree
to this?
Yes. We're going to need props.
Let's look around.
Don't
Go find what we can use. I got my roll on.
I have my makeup bag.
And I found Kay's concealer.
She's gonna kill
Gigi,
you.
don't touch my stuff.
Relax, I don't need concealer, nurses.
Okay, fine. Let's work with what we have. DJ, can you play us some sounds?
Okay, DJ, thank you.
No, Chichi, DJ,
Save
can you
us,
play us
Viva, viva, viva!
Pray, respect him, be strong.
Respect him. I used to imagine death as this hooded figure with a scythe, or even more of suit. It's a swathe of darkness. But the reality is worse, because death looks exactly like you.
Hey, what is so much? My kinders moet trouw aan mannen. Wat voor her aan zorg.
Ja, het is goed, ja.
Goeie achtergrond. Ja, en dan gaan net gelukkig wees. En lekker leven zijn.
Ja,
dat is hoe dit moet wees.
Ja, ik stem zo, ja.
But in all reality, it's like my mother was cursing me rather than blessing me when she said that. Skande! A colored woman's biggest crime. In our communities, shame comes in many, many different forms. But you know what? It actually starts the moment when the baby is born.
Ooh, maar die baby is maar pink.
Baie pink, ja.
Maar sy sal donkerder raak,
Ja,
wat ek sê.
goed so, ja.
Ja, die hare moet nog change.
Ja, die kroes haar is nie reg nie.
Uitgooi toch. Weet jy wat, Minnie? Sy lyk nog as jou skoen.
And as you get in your teenage years, the comments become more and more personal.
Hi, Winna. Wanneer verloor jy nou die baby vet?
Sy's vet.
Ja. Ag, toe maar, gelukkig het jou hare gechange. Ek is seker ander goed sal ook maar change, ja. Sy gaan nou ma en pa harde bene laat kou.
Sy sal.
Viva, 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 viva!
Pray, respect him, be strong. And yes, the brothers and sisters, as we go on praying every day and every night, I pray about my feelings, I pray about my thoughts, I pray about my mental health, pray about everything, because prayer is the only working solution. Amen.
Amen. Are you feeling down? Open the Bible.
You still have those suicidal thoughts. All you have to do now is start
praying about it.
Yes.
Feeling horny or experiencing naughty thoughts. Pray those sinful thoughts away. Het jy probleme in jou huwelik? Bid, my skat. Jy is 'n kind van die Here. Soos bidvrou van God. Bid. I don't fucking pray to be invisible.
And did I remind you, my beautiful ladies, that we're still here today because we're strong and we're praying.
What is it?
What is
Great. Let's go get some lunch.
You know you confuse me sometimes, Wena.
What's the fuck?
I'm hungry.
What the fuck is actually wrong with you? Aren't you ready to have deeper conversations?
Yeah.
Is die pil die enigste ding wat jy wil hê moet dieper in jou gaan fucking slit? You know what, Ava? You know what, Ava? 365 days of the year, women are thrust into being the role of imbogoto. As if living as a woman is not a struggle on its own, I now have to celebrate being a rock. A hard, unfeeling thing, a non-sentient object. And where's my humanity in that? When do I cry? When do I rest? When will I stop fighting for a place at the table just knowing that tomorrow it will still be there? I want to be weak and soft. I want to feel safe in my own home or at work or stop praying for better days. I want to become a leader. And I don't want my decisions questioned. I want to be me without being profiled. So tell me, Ava, tell me, when is that going to happen?
Do you want to feel safe? Well, maybe you should stick to your fucking prayers. Because you know what? Clearly one of us here is not ready to go deeper, and that is you. So pray about it. Fucking pray.
For fuck's sakes, Ava! You are not ready to go deep. I am. I don't think we are ready to talk about the toxic advice we give to each other as women. Or about how society is not ready to talk about toxic masculinity, or even these stupid women empowerment conferences that are clearly inviting the wrong audiences. I don't think we're ready for many things. And I hate this glorification of imbogoto. From the time we're young girls, our innocence and our childhood is stolen away from us. And yet we're still begging establishments to grant us protection. To try and stop men from abusing us. So I'm tired. Ek is moeg, Ava. Ek wil sag wees. Ek wil swak wees. I want to be fragile like an egg. So please, for the love of everything that's good, don't ever talk to me about being strong ever again.
Oh, fucking
Wat is jy nog gesê? Los my head! Los! Hold my head!
Hi.
You want to catch your breath?
Yes, a little bit, but I'm good.
Thank you. And also all the way from Bloemfontein.
Yes, all the way from Bloemfontein.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me, the issues that you address in your play.
Yes.
And it's also, I think you're using 4 different languages in the play, right?
Yes, that's correct.
The issues in the play, and I'm playing devil's advocate, but haven't we heard this before? Why is it still necessary to talk about all these issues? Is it still necessary? Hasn't Vagina Monologues done their bit?
Yeah, the Vagina Monologues have done their bit, but I don't think we haven't had really stern conversations about GBV. So, like, in the play, it's not like a specific scene, we just kind of cut scenes and compile them to connect to now what we're trying to show. It's like with the Me Too movement, we had it for 1 year and then it's done. And then we get murders like, the Hannah Cornelius murder and the Karabo Mokoena murder that happened. And then it's like, fight for women, done. Then it happens again. And then at some point it became a pandemic. And we spoke about it, and then it was done. I think we're addressing the wrong audience in this case. There's things that we need to do as a society, because I can bet you, in this audience, 90% of us know a victim. But, you know, like, what do we do? How do we help them? Do we just say, shame, we're sorry, you'll be fine, be strong, pray about it? Or do we condone it? Yeah, so I do feel that we're not tackling the issue in the right sense, and we're also not pointing fingers to us as women as well, because we are also perpetrators in this case. Yeah.
So, and with this play in the process, how do you, I mean, it's still a work that needs to evolve and a work in progress. So how do you, what is that process of research, of testing, of working with a script, and how do you get to, what you're saying is you want to get to the right audience and to, and you want to address these issues. So, and what is your angle, and where do you think, you know, how is it, I'm not going to say new, but how is it more effective then, of what you want to do with this play?
Okay. So initially with this play, it's all about the experience, not so much about now being purged all the, you know, the stories, about the experience. So initially in the script, we have men sitting in the first 4 rows, and we have women sitting up there at the top. And we say, ladies, this is a tutorial, and men, this is a show. Creating those dichotomies, yes, if that makes sense. And it is like a strip show kind of burlesque vibe, but also in the same breath showing the atrocities of what's happening. We're seeing the exoticism of the females, and then we're also seeing the atrocities of what happens to them or what they do to each other. So I did a lot of research. I myself is a GBV victim, but I felt it was selfish to share my story. If I have the power to, you know, lay out stories, it shouldn't be mine. It should be for the voiceless. So I went into communities, you know, talking about, you know, real stories. Those stories that are very like scandalous, you know, you don't want to say them too loud, you know, because they create some sense of like shame, if that makes sense. And people are walking around with this red card saying, I'm a victim, and no one wants to walk like that, right? But we need to talk about it, right? So initially in the script, there's the chocolate scene, caramel scene, and a vanilla scene. So it's 2 black ladies, 2 colored ladies, and 2 white ladies. And in the colored, in the caramel scene, that is actually a story that went on ACBC. It was on the news, in what, Courant, newspapers, yes. And after that, silence. So I decided I will share that lady's story. And it just so happened that it was one of my students' relatives' story. And the research went on as to also, you know, talking about other ethnic groups, because GBV doesn't choose an age or a group. It affects us all, you know, it affects all ethnicities. So because I'm Xhosa, and I can only relate to now the black stories, or know of, or comment on. So my husband, he's Afrikaans, and I had like a serious conversation with him, and just talking about how it is maybe in the Afrikaans communities, sharing those stories as well. It doesn't make sense if now I just speak of the black stories and leave other women alone. We're all in this, you know? So I also had discussions with pastors, and I had discussions with just normal, like, wives, young wives, yes. And I would take now all that information, synthesize it to what it would be now in the script. And also seeing that it's not only men that we should be pointing fingers at, it's also us, how we, you know, treat our daughters when they grow up. You know, the advice that we give them, like, no, just, you know, be humble, you know, keep your head down. A man needs to be respected. and then it's a whole different story, you know, inside the house. So yeah.
And why did you choose a strip club as your kind of main, your framework?
The strip club, I chose the space of content. Reason being is that is the only time where I also had conversations with strippers that this is the only, or exotic dancers, if I may call them, excuse me, that this is the only place where they have power, where they have control, where they can ease and tease men, but at the end it's, you know, yeah. So also to try and, it's like a mind trick, like creating a dichotomy in the mind of, oh, we're seeing all this exoticism and sensualness, but at the back it's like this horrific picture, which is unsettling, and that's the whole experience. It needs to be unsettling. And when it's unsettling, what are you, as the individual sitting in that seat, doing about it? Yeah.
Right. Put a comment right there.
If I may, I've got two questions.
Yes.
So the first one is language.
Yes.
The piece has a lot of swearing in it, and is it done intentionally because that is not perceived as how women should speak? You know, there should be, you know, a level of decorum and hoe gedraai jy yourself and hoe draai jy yourself as a vrouwmens. So that's my first question, and how are you using it specifically as a weapon, the use of language and profanity in the piece itself? So that's the first question.
Yes.
And then the second question is that you talk about, and obviously I haven't read the full piece, so I wouldn't know, so please excuse my ignorance if it is addressed. You talk about chocolate caramel and vanilla.
Yes.
Being the three groups that you're looking at.
Yes.
My question is also about the Indian community, because there is also a lot of gender-based violence in that community.
Yes.
And how do you think maybe, because it is still a work in progress,
yes,
that those are stories that you'd like to bring out as well?
Yes. So with the language, it's all about like how we're taught to never swear, also as a female, you know, jy moet ordentlik wees, you know, you need to be authentic, you need to be a lady. And yet when we're so relaxed with each other, and also when you're expressing yourself, you tend to use vulgar language, because it seems like, you know, the ordentlic words are not really hitting what maybe you're experiencing or the emotional expression that you're doing. And in the script, when they tell the story, there's no swearing at all. When they are telling the actual stories that are happening, they don't swear at all. It's only when we break out and reflect on maybe the story where we like swearing, maybe at the guy or maybe at the mom, because it's like, why shouldn't we swear? Why shouldn't we be vulgar? You know, like, what's wrong with that? Why does it make it not ladylike? If that, yeah, it's like a question, kind of. And with the, as you said, I actually wanted to comment on that. I did write a scene for the Indian community. However, I struggled to find an Indian actor or actress, because in Bloemfontein, you're not going to find an Indian actor. Yes, but that is true, because I come from KZN, and growing up with, you know, Indians and, you know, sleeping over at, you know, at homes, you see these things. If not seeing, you hear it. Yes, so I do have a scene. Thank you.
That answers your question. Don't see any other hands at the moment. I want to ask you, you know, working in the Free State.
Yes.
And do you have support there to develop this play? Are you here to develop the play? Are you here to actually get spaces where you can showcase the play? What are you looking for, and what kind of support do you have in the Free State?
Well, in the department, yes. The department, like the drama department where I work at, and also working with young people, because they're very eager. I would say I have bodies in that sense, but putting it also in other platforms besides the Free State, because it's like preaching to the choir. And, in Bloemfontein, we have the young people fighting for it, but, when we get to your 30s, 40s, and going up to this, it's like, we don't want to hear that. And it's hurtful. I don't know, maybe it's the fear of facing the truth, I don't know. But, there's always this, let's just put it under the carpet and move on. And also to develop the script, I wouldn't mind also having a mentor to maybe I can somehow also reshape the script to hopefully come to also to its optimum, or to shape it in a way now that we are punching the right buttons to the audience. Yeah, I would really appreciate the mentorship. So if you're interested,
Shall we start with the mentorship then? I think we should. Yeah.
Yes.
That's actually an easy one to do.
Yes.
Yeah. And just to find the right mentor.
Yes,
the one
finding
that you
the
can
right,
connect
yes.
with.
Yes.
Last question, just out of curiosity, do you as an artist, writer, artist, performer, everything you do, do you feel, and I'm not going to ask you to almost talk representative of everyone there, the community, do you feel isolated in Bloemfontein, in the Free State, from the rest of the country?
Yes. Yes.
And how do we solve that? Because it shouldn't be that. How do we? What do you have answers for that? And what is that? I mean, I'm not asking. This is a difficult question. I know. I don't have the answer. That's why I'm asking.
I think if we could just open up our communities a bit more from our different spaces and allow each other in the spaces. Now, in terms of not just collaborating, because it always seems like, if you're from Bloemfontein, what am I going to gain? Whereas if you're from Joburg, if you're from Cape Town, there's a lot more you could gain. And in a sense, I would say, if we could, just do more than collaboration, if that makes sense. Interlink somehow, let our works interconnect, in a way. Because, it just happens where you just end the play in Bloemfontein and that's it. It's dead. And no one buys it, no one, or also there's this perception that maybe Bloemfontein artists are a bit conservative, which is not the case because not all of us are from Bloemfontein. We just work there. We also want to be, exposed out there. Yes, I think maybe just removing that mindset or that perception of what the Free State is, and actually really also finding the right, connections, the dots, and not closing the clicks, because, it's like, if you go to this place, you already know, you're not winning a prize because you're not part of the clique. and elsewhere,
One would hope that the answer actually lies in the connection that the state theatres have.
Yeah.
But maybe a place to start, and I wonder, isn't it within the drama departments?
Yes, in the drama departments
to connect and make those connections.
That would be
for
a
artists
great
to collaborate and to not only collaborate, like you say, kind of exchange. And
yes, that would be a lovely idea.
It's a much larger discussion.
Yes.
We're not going to solve it. No one here is going to solve it now. But we've got to continue talking about this, and not only talking about it. What we've got to do is, because we know this. We know there's incredible artists in the Free State.
Yes.
And and there should be a connection made and opportunities for everyone to connect all around the country.
Yes, and I think we should actually just start doing it. If the states are struggling,
it starts with you.
It starts with
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we are now going to lunch, and then we will be back at 2:00. Thank you, everyone.